The lively chatter of the upscale Manhattan restaurant buzzed with energy, nearly deafening as Naomi Jones, 25, skillfully balanced a tray of drinks in one hand while jotting down an order with the other. She'd been working here for 3 years, handling double shifts to save enough for her dream, opening a small bakery. It wasn't glamorous, but Naomi had earned the affection of regulars, thanks to her warm smile and sharp sense of humor. One cold Tuesday evening, the door swung open, and a man who seemed vaguely familiar walked in. He wore a black hoodie and sunglasses, clearly trying to blend in, though his towering figure made that nearly impossible. Naomi didn't think much of it at first, until she approached his table. "Hey there, what can I get you?" she asked, her customer service smile on point. The man pulled down his hood, and Naomi's eyes widened in surprise. It was Dwayne Johnson, the Hollywood superstar. "I'll just have a black coffee, please," he said softly, clearly wanting to keep a low profile. Naomi's excitement bubbled beneath her calm exterior. She quickly fetched his coffee and returned to his table, whispering, "I won't tell anyone, but it's an honor to serve you." Dwayne chuckled. "Thanks, I appreciate that." As the evening progressed, Naomi noticed a rising buzz in the restaurant. Some diners began snapping pictures and whispering excitedly. Soon, the restaurant manager, Philip, stormed over. "Naomi," he hissed. "What did I tell you about fraternizing with customers, especially VIPs?" "I didn't." "He's just having coffee," Naomi replied, stunned. Philip wasn't having it. "Get him out of here, quietly. We don't need this circus disrupting our paying customers." Naomi hesitated. She glanced at Dwayne, who looked uncomfortable but remained calm. "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson," she said, her voice apologetic. "Management is asking if you could finish your coffee elsewhere." Dwayne stood up, his face unreadable. "No problem. Thanks for the coffee," he said, leaving without a fuss. Naomi's heart sank. The next day, Naomi was summoned to Philip's office. "You've put this restaurant in jeopardy," he barked. "Do you know how many reservations we lost last night because of your stunt? You're fired." Tears welled up in Naomi's eyes, but she held her head high. "I didn't do anything wrong, Philip, and you know it." She packed her things and left, her dream of a bakery feeling farther away than ever. The following morning, Naomi was woken by a loud knock at her apartment door. Groggy and still in her pajamas, she opened it to find a sharply dressed man standing there. "Miss Naomi Jones?" he asked. "Yes. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Dwayne Johnson. He'd like to meet with you." Naomi's heart skipped a beat. "Is this some kind of joke?" The man smiled. "Not at all. He asked me to personally escort you to his office." Still in disbelief, Naomi quickly got dressed and followed him to a sleek black SUV. They drove to a towering downtown building, where Naomi was led to a lavish office. There, Dwayne sat, casually sipping coffee. "Naomi, come on in," he said warmly. "Mr. Johnson, I don't understand," Naomi stammered. "I heard what happened after I left the restaurant," Dwayne began, his tone serious. "You stood up for me, even when it cost you your job. That kind of integrity is rare." Naomi shook her head. "I just did what I thought was right. That's all." Dwayne smiled. "And that's why I want to help you." He gestured to a folder on the table. "Inside, you'll find a business proposal. I heard about your dream to open a bakery, and I want to make it happen. Consider this an investment in someone I believe in." Naomi's jaw dropped. "You're serious?" "Dead serious," Dwayne said. "I've already secured a prime location for you. All you have to do is say yes." Tears filled Naomi's eyes as she nodded. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." Weeks later, Naomi stood outside her brand new bakery. The sign above read "Naomi's Sweet Escape" in elegant gold lettering. The grand opening was a massive success, with a line of customers stretching around the block. And true to his word, Dwayne showed up, cutting the ribbon and posing for photos with Naomi. From that day on, Naomi's life changed forever. Her bakery became a local sensation, and her story inspired many. As she stood behind the counter, serving her famous cinnamon rolls, Naomi couldn't help but think that sometimes doing the right thing really does pay off. The bakery buzzed with excitement from the grand opening, and the crowd kept growing. But just as her dream was taking off, shadows from her past loomed dangerously close. One evening, as Naomi finished cleaning the bakery, a black SUV pulled up outside. The tinted windows and ominous presence of the car immediately set her on edge. The door opened, and out stepped Philip, her former manager. Well, he sneered, stepping inside. Look who's suddenly living the high life. Naomi froze. What are you doing here? I'm just here to see how far you've gotten after you embarrassed me and ruined the restaurant's reputation, he said, dripping with mockery. Did you really think you'd get away with making me look bad? Naomi took a deep breath, her hands trembling. I didn't do anything to you. You fired me for standing up for someone and I moved on. So should you? Philip's smirk deepened. Oh, I have, but I couldn't resist a little payback. Before Naomi could respond, two large men entered the bakery behind him, blocking the doorway. They carried a threatening presence that made Naomi's heart race. What do you want? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady despite the fear rising within her. Philip leaned in, his tone dark and threatening. A little compensation. After all, you wouldn't be here without me, right? How about 50% of your profits? Call it a partnership. Naomi's stomach churned. You're insane. Get out of my bakery. Philip's expression darkened. Think carefully, Naomi. I can make life very difficult for you, or you can cooperate, and we'll both benefit. Just then, the roar of an engine was heard outside, followed by the unmistakable voice of Dwayne Johnson. Naomi, you okay in there? Philip's smug expression faltered as Dwayne entered, his towering figure commanding the room. His gaze swept over Philip and his goons. Who's this? Dwayne asked Naomi, his voice calm but filled with authority. Just someone who doesn't understand the word no, Naomi replied, her confidence returning. Dwayne turned to Philip, his smile cold. I don't know who you think you are, but you're in the wrong place. Leave now. Philip scoffed, trying to save face. This has nothing to do with you, Johnson. Stay out of it. Dwayne stepped closer, towering over Philip. It has everything to do with me. Naomi is under my protection. If you want to mess with her, you'll be messing with me. And trust me, you don't want that. Philip's confidence crumbled as he realized the situation was slipping away from him. He signaled his goons, and they quickly retreated, muttering as the door slammed shut behind them. Naomi let out a shaky breath. Thank you, she whispered, tears of relief streaming down her face. Dwayne placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. No need to thank me, Naomi. But I think it's time we add some extra security around here. The next day, Dwayne arranged for top-notch security and even hired off-duty police officers to patrol the bakery. The news of the incident spread, but instead of scaring customers away, it brought more support to Naomi's business. Yet, Naomi couldn't shake the feeling that Philip wouldn't give up so easily, and she was right. 1 week later, in the dead of night, an alarm blared through the bakery. Naomi, startled awake at home, grabbed her phone and checked the security feed. Her blood ran cold as she saw two masked figures inside, smashing display cases and spray-painting hateful messages on the walls. She immediately called the police, but before they could arrive, Dwayne showed up with his own team of private security. They apprehended the intruders, who turned out to be none other than Philip's hired thugs. Philip was arrested, and the story made headlines. The public rallied around Naomi, condemning Philip's actions and turning her bakery into a symbol of resilience. Business boomed like never before, and Naomi's determination only grew stronger. As she stood outside the bakery one evening, looking at the crowd of loyal customers, Naomi felt a sense of triumph she had never known before. You okay? Dwayne asked, walking up beside her. Naomi smiled. Better than okay. I'm ready for whatever comes next. As Naomi's journey shows, standing up for what's right can lead to unexpected challenges and incredible rewards. What would you do if you were in Naomi's shoes? Would you risk your job to help someone in need? Let us know in the